Welcome to Jurassic Park. No, 12 Daves of...
No, that's wrong. He's still going in. Oh no, back with me. Back to the film. Look, it's the air.
Doc! Welcome, and this is Halloween. Should have dressed up.
Subscribe or perish.
Hi there, I'm Nicole Violet from Monsters Walk Amongst Us, and I'm going to tell you about my scariest film moment. So, I know I'm supposed to be like all rock and roll and pretend I'm cool and stuff, but I'm actually a massive baby and everything scares me. I jump at everything. But my scariest moment, I have to say, was in my youth going to see Signs at the cinema. I mean, that stuff shouldn't be a 12A because I'm still traumatised now at nearly 30. So it had to be when those big, long, lanky, creepy guys were stood on the house. I think about it quite a lot sometimes when I'm just in bed and I think, you know, if there was an alien outside my room right now. Also, as a child, I was absolutely terrified of E.T. and my mum and sister used to make fun of me and just like, there's E.T. and I'd be screaming and jump onto my mum. I think I just seem to have a thing about aliens, really, like the creepy long ones or the small wrinkly E.T. ones, whatever kind they are. I think I'm just a bit terrified of aliens. Hope I never meet one. Yeah.
But if I had to choose one defining scary moment, it would be the very first Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's not even part of the movie. What it is I watched it. I was young. I was probably 9, maybe 10, way too young to be watching that movie. And then I decided to go to sleep, as any normal child would do. And someone in my family, who shall not be named, thought it would be very, very funny to go outside and take a rake and scrape that rake down the window to make a sound like Freddy Krueger scratching on the window. And I was this close to peeing in the bed. Like, I know that's probably way too much information. This close! I did make it to the toilet. But I was so scared. And from that moment on, Freddy is one of the scariest, absolutely scariest monsters to me. And that's why. So if I had to choose one, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Still to this day, if I hear a scratching, I will probably pee my pants.
Good evening, horror fans, and happy Halloween. I'm here to talk to you about my scariest horror film moment, and I have to say, without a doubt, it was when I watched the Japanese version of the film The Ring. Not The Ring, not this bling, The Ring, which was probably the scariest thing that I've watched since Jaws when I was 6, and the scene where the head comes out of the boat and like makes Richard Dreyfuss jump like awful. That was the last time a film kept me from sleeping until I watched The Ring. So if you haven't had the pleasure of watching The Ring, so the American version is great, I don't have anything against that, it's very scary, but the Japanese version has this incredible sense of dread and horror that runs all the way through it. Sometimes it feels like there's not much happening, so then when something does happen, because they've built it up so well, they've made it so beautifully subtle, it absolutely scares the pants off you. There are 2 scenes in it that really stick out to me. One notable moment is when the reflection of her dead husband in the TV, when he's wearing a towel like that, he's just like that and he's pointing and he just appears, and it absolutely scared the pants off me. Like, OMG, what's that guy doing on the TV? And not in a good way. Actually, obviously, the most iconic scene is when she crawls out of the TV in his apartment. We haven't seen how she kills people by that point. And then when we finally do, I literally slept with my light on for 2 nights because I thought she was crawling across my bedroom floor to kill me. My goodness me, beats the socks off the American version for being terrifying. I can't recommend it enough. Watch it, see it, enjoy it, and remember, horror fans, we've seen enough movies now. We all know that if a phone rings on Halloween, you just don't answer it because you will die.
Now, as a kid, I could pretty much watch anything, any scary movie. I'm a child of the 70s, so everything was pretty much uncensored then. All the blood and guts and gore were left in. I'm, you know, the video nasty generation. Things like Class of Newcomb High or Scanners. But one of my favourite films of all times was The Shining, and I remember sneaking upstairs as a kid and watching it really low on my TV, probably at an age when I shouldn't have been watching a film like that at all. And as a grown-up, I can't even watch it now, I can't face it, and they've cut a lot of the real scary stuff out. Saying that, I've never been able to look at twins in the same way again. There are many aspects of the film that are very scary. The isolation, the talking to ghosts, the fact that the building has the memory of the people that stayed there, how haunting it is, the telepathy between the kid and the guy in the snowplow that goes back. I'm really accurate with my character names and references there.
Why are you sitting around hoping,
There is one constantly terrifying thing throughout the entire film, and that's this.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
Enough said. The thing about The Shining is there are as many terrifying moments in the film as there are surreal ones. Like, why was that guy in a bear costume? Alongside Kubrick's directing and Nicholson's performance is King's writing, and the clever use of phrases like "here's Johnny" and "all work and no play," which are fixed firmly in American popular culture, add another chilling dimension to this film. And then there's the kid as well, who always talks to his finger about Red Rum, the racehorse that went missing, who also switched on Blackpool illuminations. That's the horse, not the kid, just so you know. So if you're looking for a really scary film to watch this Halloween, I recommend The Shining. That's if it's on TV, because all good horrors have been parodied by The Simpsons.
What's my favourite scary movie? That would have to be The Changeling, starring George C. Scott, 1980, directed by Peter Maddock. And I'm not talking about jump scares, I'm talking about terror, edge of your seat terror that leaves you questioning your own sanity. That is this film. It's incredible for it. The film starts off with the main character, played by George C. Scott, experiencing a tragedy where his wife and his child die horribly. And in his grief, he moves away. He's a composer and a lecturer of music, and he rents this old big house and goes to stay there to try and get away from everything, try and sort his head out and see if he can start writing music again. And that's where the spooky stuff starts, and you get entwined with this story that starts so subtly that, you know, he'll be sitting there composing a piece of music, and then you see just in the background the door swing open, and he turns around, it's like, what's going on there? And then somebody else comes in and he walks off, and as he leaves the room, the key that doesn't work goes bong, and you're like, Ugh! And all this time he thinks it's his daughter trying to get in contact with him, and then it leads on and leads on and leads on, and then he finds the secret room, and this is when the sequence of events comes into play that actually to this day means that I have a phobia of empty wheelchairs. It is a paranormal classic in my book. It's the best haunted house movie ever made. It's the best horror film ever made in my book. If you're not into, I said my book twice, didn't I? If I'm going to say my book, I'm going to say By Blood Inc. Colin J. Davies, or Mathemagical, or Anagramophobia, or 'Twas the Night of Halloween, he said, holding up a copy he doesn't have in front of him. It's just wonderful. It's such a good film, and it doesn't have the love. There's more people now coming on board, people that saw it in the 80s on video like myself, that are beginning to realise how good this film is. Really should be a lights off, late night, don't sleep movie.
My name's Lizzie. One of my favourite scary movie moments was from when I was about 13 or 14 years old. I was invited to a sleepover party. I think I was with about 10 or 12 other girls from my school, and we made the wise decision to watch The Descent in a completely pitch black living room. There's a scene where they're in complete darkness in these caves somewhere, and they're trying to find a way out. So you've got a night vision camera, it pans from left to right, they're all terrified. All of a sudden it pans back to one of them, and stood behind them was one of these really weird blind Voldemort Gollum-esque creatures. The room erupted with screams, everyone was terrified, I was terrified. I hate going in caves because of that film, and it was a really memorable evening, and The Descent is a very, very good film, very spooky, not good if you're claustrophobic.
Where are they?
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
And that is what is frightening about Scream, is that the killers in this film could actually exist in our reality. It's not supernatural. It's very much something that could take place. And I thought about that constantly after watching Scream, and it was what was most horrific about the tale being told by the creator himself, Wes Craven.
Yeah, I think that it goes down without saying, like, we love this movie so much because it was clever for the time that it came out. You can't really think of the 90s without thinking of Scream. It was such an iconic thing that happened back then. Like, it wasn't something that we've seen before back then. So right. it was a entertainment experience that you had a lot of fun when you went to go see, like, a horror slasher film like Scream. At the same time, it also had a lot of the comedic beats that you were looking for, because a lot of times when you go to these slasher or horror movies, you have that comedic plucky character, but it just doesn't feel like it fits. They just kind of put them in there to alleviate the scary parts a little bit, and then go back into, you know, the hacking and the slashing. Whereas in Scream, it flowed and it was part of the story. And the fact that you had a character in there was basically us talking about movies, talking about how these things, there are rules to going on. And that's what I love about it too, is the rules. The fact that they had these certain rules that you have to abide by when it comes to a horror movie.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Mike Myers, like Jason Voorhees, like Chucky, Freddy, like they are all at the top of, you know, horror kings essentially. So I would say that Ghostface is definitely one that could be up on that pole of killers from, you know, that time.
Because they would just impale all the bodies along the way to mark each killer, and how their hierarchy of killership is in regards to pop culture. I love it. We love Scream.
Not scared, are you? Squeak.
And thank you guys for watching Mooch TV. You can like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust.
And all the social networking conjoints, you know where they are. Thank you guys so much, and as always...
Now it's time to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. I'll be back.
Smile, you son of a...
You know what?
Hello there. I'm Robert.
And
I know, I had the same exact thing. I was like, oh, we should restart because I'm going to cough.
Come back here, you.
It absolutely scares the pants off you. One notable moment is when the reflection of her dead husband appears in the TV. Oh my God. With his towel on his head. That was genuinely not scripted.
Jackie! I just blabbed my pants. Vroom, vroom.
You don't know who I am? The name is simple. I'm Chucky, the Killer Doll. I am insane. We are just a little insane. Give me some fucking food!
There we go. Thanks very much. Yeah, happy with that. So until the next Halloween special, goodbye and subscribe.
Who are you gonna call?
Now let's go kick some ass.